Hello everyone, this is Lolly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about some more colored pencils. Recently I was able to get in a conversation with the kind folks at Faber-Castell. I was just doing some research. I wanted to find out about the Polychromos colored pencils because I have been wanting to do away with using Prismacolor pencils. They have gone downhill, and although they were the first pencil, quality pencil that I fell in love with, you know, and there is that kind of brand loyalty for years, and I just began to get more and more disgusted with them. And here is an example. You could see that the core is not perfectly centered. It's actually closer to the bottom than it is the top. And their core is so breakable. They've gone downhill since they've sold the company. And so I was just on a fact-finding mission. The folks at Faber-Castell said they would send me some Polychromos. As you can see, they have sent me 36, but they were also kind enough to send me their 48-count Goldfaber and 48 Goldfaber Aqua. So I want to talk about the difference between these three, and then I am going to swatch them out. I'm not sure I'm going to do that on camera or not because of the fact that it's so... I'll tell you what I'll do is I will swatch out just the Goldfaber, but then I will also color in an image using all three of these and compare the three. So the difference between the regular Polychromos and the Goldfaber is that they've been around for a long time, and that is their finest quality colored pencil, and it is part of their art and graphic line. It's available in 120 colors, and it's made with cedar wood. Now, the pencil itself, the core of it is, as you know, their colored pencils, good quality ones, are a combination of oils and waxes and pigments. Prismacolor is mostly wax, and so when you are trying to layer, it gets this waxy buildup or bloom. These are more oil than the wax, and they have a good lay down. They're buttery, but they also can be blended and layered. The core is 3.8 millimeters, and the pencil is also water resistant and smudge proof. They have a light fast rating on the pencil, and I haven't even opened this up yet. So here's the information on that. Perfect. Lovely. And so let's just pull one out here. I love pencils that have the finished or dot tip on the back. And it feels like the pencil barrel itself is slightly larger than this, the Prismacolor. Beautiful. I love periwinkle. It's one of my favorites. They have the name, so it has it in German and in English, and it has a number. These are open stock, so you will be able to replace or add to your collection as you are wearing them down. The Goldfaber is in their Creative Studio line, so more of a student grade, in other words. It's the student, the aspiring artist, the hobby artist. So there's a total of 48, so this is the whole set. This one's available in 120, but this is the entire set right here. I do not believe that the student grade, would be open stock. So you get what you have. And here they are lovely. They have the dark gray barrel, and they have little handles here to pull out the whole tray since there's 2 layers of it. Also have the beautiful end on it. This one feels like it is as the same barrel width as the Prismacolor. And this one has a 3.3 millimeter core. So 3.8 millimeter core for the Polychromos, 3.3 for these. They're beautiful. Oops, let me pull that out. They also have the name on there. They have a number, but no, so this is color 140, but it doesn't have the actual name of the color, like is it periwinkle, is it azure blue. I love the little tray here for pulling that out. That is very helpful. You can see all the colors here. Now I'm going to do something else. I'm going to flip this over and look at the back because I want to see if they are identical. It looks to me as though the Aqua ones had the exact same colors as these. So it says excellent light fastness, soft, vibrant color laydown, highly pigmented, water-resistant, smudge-proof, break-resistant, easily to sharpen, but it doesn't, I don't know if these are also more oil-based than these. We shall see. So let's take a look at these and see if they look any different from the regular Goldfabers. This is Goldfaber, this is Goldfaber Aqua. It's a lighter pencil, and also instead of a round barrel, it is, so it's got six-sided, so it won't roll off your table as readily as these would. And these also don't have a name, they just have a number for the color. Also, the tray lifts out just like the other one. Okay, so I'm going to swatch these out. There have been a lot of swatching videos about the Polychromos, and I don't think I need to repeat that. So let's get this out. And then what I did was I stamped my color swatch stamp. It is called Color Swatches by Waffle Flower. I take this, but then I cut it in half. This is colored pencil paper, so I cut it in half so I can write the numbers next to it. I'm going to write those numbers ahead of time off camera, and then I will swatch. Now, these already come really well sharpened. I want to show you that, and I'm not going to sharpen them any farther than that. And what I did was I wrote my numbers in exactly the order they had them in here, which is basically colorful. It's pleasing to the eye, as opposed to numerical, because you will notice you go to like you go to 132, 130, 131, 132, then down to 119, then back up to 134, then down to 123. So they're not numerical, but they are arranged according to the color chart. So now this is white, which normally you wouldn't think would show up well, but you'll notice the difference in my cardstock. This is a bright white, but this is a colored pencil paper. And so it's off-white. So this white just may show up. Nice. So this, I'm just testing these out right now, and I see that these would be really good for someone who is wanting to switch over from the Crayola type pencils and have more of an artist quality. I'm pushing a little hard here and burnishing to see just how well that works without getting some bloom. So they're not as buttery as you are going to experience from like the Polychromos, and there is a little bit of dusting that needs to be done. Just a little bit of buildup here that needs to be dusted away. Okay, So my first general impressions, the colors are usually pretty vibrant. I'm loving the palette that they've chosen, especially once I started getting into these olives and the teals. Beautiful. I've noticed that some of them needed more dusting than others. Some colors I could just go several pencils without having to dust at all, and then I would, several in a row needed dusting. I think the black needed a little more vibrancy. I felt like I really had to give that a good burnish to really get the black out of there, but they do burnish well overall and get a good solid color in there. So that is the color swatching for the Goldfaber. Now I'm going to stamp out an image and I'm going to color it with all three of these. I will be using this Pink Ink Design Dragonfly Wings series stamp set. And you can see I'm using my Tim Holtz stamp positioner tool here. It works really well. I'm using the Nuvo hybrid ink pad in black, and I'm using my Chucky tool here to apply pressure. So if you don't know what a Chucky tool is, you see it in action there, and this is what it is. I'll give you a video on how I made my own. So I have stamped out these on the colored pencil paper and one on a mixed media paper. The colored pencil paper is the Strathmore colored pencil paper. The mixed media paper is also Strathmore. And let's start playing. So I'm going to start with the Goldfaber. I have my color swatch handy because this will give me, you know, a better picture of, you know, what colors that I want to use on this. And this doesn't have to be a realistic representation of a dragonfly. And I realized that I also had done a dragonfly for my last colored pencil video, but then I just had hand drawn that. So I really do like a lot of purples, blues, greens, and turquoises when doing these, but I think, and I will go ahead and do the body in the browns. So I'm going to choose 176, 283, and let's get a little bit of, let's get 173 in there, even though that is a deep greenish, kind of an olive color. Let's use these for his body. Oh, it really is different when you're coloring with it. I'm going to give it a little stripe down here. I think I'm just going to go with this and the, this is that olive color. Right now, I'm just looking to see what it's like when I'm trying to blend in there with the brown. And it's working really well. I mean, I'm not seeing a solid line of demarcation between the two. Normally with colored pencils, you're going to be coloring in little tiny circles to avoid the scratch lines. But I think I want to bring in a little more brown there and see. That's interesting. Okay, let's pick out some wing color here. Okay, I'm going to go bold, I think. Let's do 125, which is this one. And the 136. You can tell I go to these colors because, and that's what's in my craft room. But I'm going to leave some white in here, but I might just use their white to blend some of this together. Now we see that we have these demarcations or these lines here on it, and that's great. I can just color solid within, but that's not what I want to do because I want to really test out these pencils. So what I'm going to be doing instead, let me get 154 as well, because this is a lighter. I want to try and blend this turquoise out a little bit. So I'm going to start a little bold right in here. Carry that up. Ooh, this really does well. I'm going to darken this in. So I'm going to zoom in here so that you can really see what's going on. Okay, so I'm using these three colors here, and although I'm starting with the dark turquoise, and I'm going light in the middle and then purple on the end, and I'm blending them together, and I'm going to bring the light turquoise back up here again. I'm seeing, you know, how it's working to layer these out. This one's not layering over the purple as well as I would like, but again, this is, you know, for what you're getting here, this is an amazing, amazing job. See, I start dark, I'm going lighter now and lighter. I'm going to carry this in there. You can see a little bit of the delineation between the colors. I'm just going to I'm going to color this solid, this band across here. Then I'm going to also bring it down. So you usually don't want to hit too hard right away with the pencils. You want to layer that up a little bit. And layering is what is really wonderful with a good quality artist pencil. But it's working. And I don't want everything on the dragonfly to be a solid. I want some lighter colors, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm pushing harder toward the base of the wing and going up lighter as I go to the top. I've gotten out this, which is this number 125. If you just want this to fade into white, then just go ahead and do the tiny circles. But let's get a lighter pink here, like 119, and transition there. Now I want to leave some white right up here where the pink is transitioning into the white, so that's why I'm going to leave that. However, I am going to come and do a band. I haven't had to be doing any dusting yet, so that's good. This is really impressive. So I'm going to leave you down below. I'm going to leave the cost comparison between the pencils, this and the Polychromos. It's lovely. Okay, now I want to hit this one. Now, another thing you could do would be to take a light gray and to go in and do some shading that way as well. But I think I like the brightness of this instead, the way it is without any gray in it. Let's see how that compares to the Polychromos. Because I do want to try and get similar colors, because that way it's a better comparison. Now this is a 36 set. We don't have quite the color range. The pencils do not come as sharp as the other ones, but still sharp enough that I'm going to play with it as is. I'm going to pick two similar colors, and this one is walnut brown and earth green yellowish. Let's see if that will give me something similar. I may have to pull in some other colors. Oof. Now, the Goldfaber, they're not scratchy. I mean, it's not like coloring with, you know, Crayola colored pencils or anything. So they're not scratchy at all, but you do see an intensity of increase in the butteriness of these. And I think where we're really going to see a big difference is going to be in the layering. See, this color of green is a lot brighter than that olive green for my other one. So I will just play around and see if I can get the same, through blending, see if I can get the same sort of color. You can see it's a really pretty color, but you see how dark this one is. I'm just going to go over that. When you don't have all the colored pencils you want, just blend over them. I'm not seeing any need to dust this off at all. Okay, now I want to pick out the colors for the wings. Let's see if these will do for it. Ooh, yes, definitely creamier. Beautiful. But creaminess is just one aspect of this. You do want to, oh wow, just the lightest touch gives us some really vibrant color. I'm impressed. So if you're looking for something to replace your Prismacolors, look and see, you know, what quality you want. These definitely blend better together, and you can go over again without getting the waxy buildup. You don't have to work as hard, in other words, to get these to blend out. If you want really good control, don't start with a heavy hand. And a heavy hand starts with hand hold. Don't wrap your fingers around your pencil and make your knuckles go white. Just relax. Get a gentle hold on that. That's beautiful. Okay. This is an entirely different shade of pink I probably shouldn't have gone with, but I'm just going to blend it out. And again, I like leaving that little bit of white around the edge there. If you're on a budget, want to get a good set of pencils, and you want all the colors, go with the Goldfaber. But if you are okay with blending your own colors out, and you want better quality yet, go with the Polychromos. Okay, let's bring that back in here. Color match isn't perfect. These do blend way more easily. Let's see if I can show you the difference. Look at this segment right here. You can see a little more of the transition, though I worked it several times here. You can see the transition more, so if you really want to do their blending, I would go with the Polychromos. These little wispies here, you can give a little highlight. Perfect. Now let's try these out. And let's bring in the one that I stamped on mixed media paper. Let's get these colors out. Let's try a small section here. Let's try... I'm not pushing hard. I like the feel of the barrel, that they are less, that they're not rolly, you know, they're not round. But I can see how it could cause your hand to, you know, get hand fatigue on a narrow barrel, and also with the shape of it. So having never used it, oops, I'm using a water pen here. Water brush. Oh, wow. That's going to be a little juicy on me here. I think I'm going to switch to a regular brush because this is too much water for me. But, ooh, how beautiful this is. So I didn't worry so much about doing all the blending ahead of time because I knew that I was going to be using the water to do the blending for me. So let's do this one. The other one I faded from dark to light. It only takes a light touch. But one thing you can do is get this wet ahead of time. Well, again, too much. and then you can blend into it a lot more easily. The other thing I want to try is, the paper's already wet now. I'm adding a little bit into. Another thing you can do is to just take it right from the pencil. I think what I want to do is add some highlights of the solids later. Now I just want a little bit of moisture here, not a huge amount. I'm starting in the white area and then moving over to the hot pink color to pick that up and to basically draw it into the rest. Now once this is dry, you can also go over it with some dry pencil to add some more intensity in there if you want. Now we're going to try a really tight spot here of blending. It is good to get out the lines. Don't leave the drawn lines in there in your work. And then I go to the pink and the turquoise. Beautiful. And then turquoise. Now this is dry over here, so I'm going to add. Now the thing about these moisture activated, water activated colors is that if you some of them, if you spray a fixative on it, it could make your colors run. So there's something to consider. I'm not activating what I'm putting on there now because I want the sharp line. Okay, you know what? I didn't start with his body though, so let's go back and get that body done. Now I want to add a little bit of just a hint of color around these, so. Now I want to show you a comparison between all of these. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So there you see, well, of course, with the watercolor, you're going to have an entirely different look anyway, but they are beautiful. And then there, again, is the Polychromos, and this is the Goldfaber that is not the Aqua. This is the Aqua. Beautiful. They all look amazing. Very, very pleased with them. Now, I will leave you a video that I've done on how you can seal this without the colors spreading on you. Sealing so that they will be more resistant to water from then on. Thank you for watching. Make sure you look at the links down below because I'm going to give you a price comparison to these and where you can pick up these pencils from yourself. And thank you again to Faber-Castell for sending me this beautiful set.